In this video, we're going to be going over the physiological phenomenon known as oxygen debt. And what this is you ever notice if you exert yourself or you exercise heavily, or for example, you run around the track one time and then you stop? Well, even though you've stopped exercising, exerting yourself, you still breathe heavy. What is that heavy breathing? What do we call that? We call that the oxygen debt, because that's the amount of oxygen needed by heavy breathing to restore normal conditions after the exercise has stopped. It just represents the difference between the amount of oxygen needed for totally aerobic muscle activity and the amount actually used. That's your oxygen debt. So what is this oxygen being used for that you are continually breathing heavy after you finish exercising? It's used to restore the following. One, you need to replenish the oxygen withdrawn from myoglobin. Myoglobin is that protein that will bind onto oxygen in muscle and then release it when it's needed for aerobic respiration. So you're going to replenish the oxygen onto myoglobin. You're also going to replenish oxygen on hemoglobin within red blood cells. You use that oxygen for aerobic metabolism to make ATP, which that ATP now being produced by aerobic respiration is going to be used to replenish the creatine phosphate system. So you're going to put phosphate onto creatine that was used during that exertion. You're going to power the sodium-potassium pumps to restore resting ionic conditions within the cell. You're going to use the ATP to replenish glycogen stores. You're also going to use the ATP to convert the remaining lactic acid or lactate back to glucose, which happens in the liver via the Cori cycle or lactic acid cycle. Let's test your knowledge on the oxygen debt. Pause the video and answer the following questions. Here are the answers. This concludes the video, and if you have any questions at all on the oxygen debt, please let me know.